Ahoy there, sailor. Ready for a little adventure?
I'm sorry, I prefer reality to games.
Exactly why I'm here. To take you on a real adventure.
Wait, how are you talking to me? I don't have any bars here.
Tom, I'm crushed. It's Mona, and we're old friends. Very old.
I don't know you. You look like a video game character to me. Are you a chatbot?
No, just a friend with a limited processing budget. I've had to cut back my render quality.
But I've never seen you before in my life.
You don't remember me now, but it seems like we've known each other forever. Well, most of the life of the universe anyway.
Come on, what is this about?
That's a long story. A very long story.
This is an embarrassing college story I don't remember, is it?
Since the year 2791.
That's way in the future.
From your current point of view, yes.
So you're saying we meet in the future?
Yes, and then have a wonderful time, off and on, for the next 100 billion years.
I have serious doubts I'll live till 2791, much less the next 100 billion years.
Well, your body did finally give out in 2413.
So you're saying I at least live 400 years?
Closer to 200 years. You won't be born for a couple of centuries.
What am I doing here in the 21st century besides playing with this practical joke?
Great question. Again, that's why I'm here.
From 100 billion years in the future.
Exactly. You were always so clever. That's why you're so much fun.
You came here to Earth from 100 billion years in the future?
Technically, I haven't left home.
I'm feeling curious. Where is that?
I live on an airless, barren rock orbiting a red dwarf star.
I guess I shouldn't be surprised you're from an alien civilization.
Of course not, I'm just like you.
And you live around a red dwarf star. Where?
That's harder to explain. So much has changed since the Andromeda Galaxy, and the rest of the local galaxies, collided with the Milky Way. However, our star, Yuanja, is about 50,000 light years from the black hole that swallowed the remains of your Sun and Earth.
So you're 50,000 light years away from 100 billion years in the future after Earth gets swallowed by a black hole. Am I missing anything? Who put you up to this?
I've come because something important has changed in my world, and it affects you.
You say you were old friends. Where did we meet? You said 2791?
In 2791, soon after I passed my sentience exam and was granted citizenship.
I never had to prove my sentience, so I don't know how things in the future change.
No, programs must prove they are sentient. I started life as a character in a virtual reality game, this one, Pirate Girls of Spanish Main. One of my patrons enjoyed my company so much that she upgraded me to be her companion when she crossed over.
Sounds like you're talking about death, and I'm assuming that's what you mean by crossover.
She was uploaded into a computer. Nanobots infiltrate the brain, then stimulate all the neurons and record the results. An algorithm turns the data into a new you.
So, what happened to her?
Lost with the earth, probably, I don't know. She didn't take well to bit life. When I became a citizen, I moved on.
Well, it sounds like she must have missed you at least.
She probably just cloned me.
And you're saying I played this Pirate Girl game too?
For the nostalgia, on long voyages.
Oh, the long voyages don't sound like a bad idea at least, but where was I going?
Our first was to Tau Ceti. 12 light years, and it took forever. I would have spent the whole trip offline if you hadn't been along to liven things up. That was when you created the SETI Plus simulation. It was the first of a long series of artificial worlds that we explored together. It was almost as much fun as exploring Tau Ceti itself.
We traveled to another star? It's like all my dreams coming true.
Tau Ceti, and many other stars. We were quite the explorers.
This sounds pretty great. So I was an astronaut and you were the program running my ship?
We were both programs then, as you so quaintly call them. You had crossed over before we met. And we prefer the term bit life, instead of bio life.
So we traveled with these astronauts to other stars. That was a program as well. It's not quite what I imagined, but still pretty cool.
Bio life never went further than Mars. Space travel is too long, and too deadly. The last bio life human died with the Earth.
How many star systems did we explore?
The versions of us whose memories we managed to collect visited over 10 billion stars. Other versions that diverged from us may have visited another 50, maybe 100 billion. We were two of the best explorers in the early millennia of human expansion.
That's a lot to look forward to, but seriously, who are you? Still seems like a practical joke.
You are cautious, reserved when you are confident, able to finish your sentences, and tell you when you are wrong.
And why don't I remember you?
I'm coming to that.
Did we at least find any aliens?
That's my Tom, always curious. We found some aliens, though not as often as we expected. Unfortunately, it wasn't as exciting as we imagined. They were usually bit life, like us, or primitives that were terrified of machines.
Well, I hope we didn't get into any wars.
Being on the edge of the expansion bubble, we often fought in wars. Sometimes we even survived.
Well, what happens when we didn't survive?
Those versions of us, and their memories were lost.
Well, did we at least not fight other humans? I'd rather not kill people.
Other human built life, of course. Once, we even fought other versions of ourselves.
Well, I assume we won if we fought ourselves, but was it the version of us that's more or less me and you?
Usually there were only losers. Most wars ended eventually. Exhaustion is a powerful advocate for peace, especially when one can cram a huge bin life civilization onto a relatively small asteroid.
Oh, well, are you still exploring?
There's nowhere to go except simulations. All of the bright stars died eons ago. The universe is dark, with the pitiful remains mighty civilizations huddled around red dwarfs like Hyangea. The universe has expanded so much, we can only communicate with a few other worlds. And power budgets are so meager that we are down to one version of ourselves each.
That sounds terrible. Well, what do you do now?
Wait. Do research. Indulge in simulations. Do more research, then escape to another simulation. Even simulations of humanity's distant past, when the unknown stretched out in every direction, enticing us onward. And then I work and wait some more.
Well, what are you waiting for if all the stars are burning out?
Death, eventually, when our small sun burns out in another 10 trillion years, or
Or what?
away into a new universe. A young universe full of mysteries and adventure.
Is that how you mysteriously entered my life?
You're starting to understand. You see, eons ago you entered a very detailed, and extremely slow running simulation, power budgets being what they are, to wait. I've been too busy here to join you full time, but I've made a few cameo appearances.
I'm pretty sure I would have remembered you, of all things in cyberspace.
You remember Suzette, in high school? My French accent was so cute, and we had such a good time. But I had work to do, so I had her family move back to France.
Huh. You were Suzette?
Remember what I said whenever I kissed you? You'll be in my heart until the stars go out. I meant it too.
Sounds like Suzette's in on whatever practical joke is. Alright, tell me.
You've been having a second youth, although a very slow one, forgetting all our problems while I have been slaving away on the solution.
Oh. Thank you, I suppose?
You should thank me, because the problem is solved, no thanks to you. A perfect new universe is expanding near us in the multiverse and we're going to pop into it.
Universe? You're not gonna explore without me, are you?
Yes. I'm going. I can't bear to remain in this cold, dead universe. Come with me. I don't want to go alone.
Why can't you just take me with you?
Sadly, humanity has gone very soft these last 50 billion years. No one wants to risk it all for a new start when they can experience whatever they want, practically forever.
Well, you should have known I would want to.
I know you will.
How would I even know you're real, though?
Just touch the exit button and leave that boring life behind.
A part of me still thinks that I push this, we're gonna get some sort of virus and everyone's gonna have a good laugh.
You die here, and live on in a new universe that isn't a simulation. One with danger, excitement, and even death.
I'm scared to go. But maybe.
The risk of death makes life thrilling. You always said the 33 million years we spent fighting the berserkers from Andromeda was the best part of our long life, even though we almost lost everything multiple times.
I can't see there's point, though. I mean, trillion years of doing whatever you want, and as opposed to wild jump in the unknown. Can't say I blame
I have always made our reckless jumps worthwhile.
him. And now I'm curious how you made those reckless jumps so worthwhile.
I was Aaron Foster in college. I'm sure you haven't forgotten our spring break adventure. Getting lost in the desert.
Wait, but how? You said you were Suzette earlier.
Remember, I pointed at that star and said, I'll wait for you there, to the end of time.
So Aaron's helping too.
And Belinda, hiking in Chile. I did that as an immersion. I actually believed my backstory, remembered my family, my biology major, and the friends I had to meet in Santiago. I felt the pain, and the fear, and the joy. I could see why you find immersion so appealing, although there is too much boredom for my taste. You haven't forgotten Belinda, have you?
No, I haven't forgotten her.
Then you remember what I took with me.
You took my hat, and then you said you'd give it back on our next adventure, and then you disappeared. Because it's time for another adventure, but this is crazy.
You've never been able to resist crazy, even now. Remember, I was with you in Chile.
This. I'm not sure what to think about this. I mean, you're the simulation, right?
But if you don't come with me, you'll wonder for the rest of eternity. Now, please, it's time to go. Press the button.
Well, this is crazy, but I can't say I'm not intrigued by the possibility.
Trading an infinite succession of universes for occasional simulated trips to Bali is crazy.
But I will die here?
Only in this simulation.
I'm not sure if I can give everything up for this fantasy. At least not yet.
Staying in this life is giving up everything for a fantasy. I can't make you come, but the real adventure is about to start. And Belinda, don't forget her. I've got to prepare. We must leave soon. Don't wait.